Kevin reviews something every day for July 24th, 2000 frac. Hello and welcome to Kevin Reviews Something Every Day for July 24th, 2009. I am wearing a beret today, but that's not just because I'm reviewing a novel that is originally from France, The Stranger by Camus, but it's a nice coincidence. The Stranger, Albert Camus, originally called in French L'Étranger, if that's how you speak French, I don't really know. It's a pretty short book overall. One of the first big books in the existentialist movement. A little background on existentialism. Basically, there is nothing but this. There is no day but today. And that's your musical theater reference for you as well. A little bit of Rent. Anyway, Rent has a little bit of existentialism in it too. But the Camus, The Stranger, book is broken up into two parts, before and after a murder. You would think that would be exciting, interesting. The murder actually isn't very interesting. The main character, whose name I can't pronounce because it's French and I don't speak French very well, kills a man about halfway through the book. And the reasons he does it are very kind of vague. It's because of the sun at one point, he says. But the point of the book is just that, is that this murder is very much a nothing event, as is a lot of the things in his life. He very much lives in the present, in the moment of right now, not showing a lot of emotion, feelings. The latter half of the book, during his trial, he gets called, soulless. At one point they call him the Antichrist just because he doesn't respond to these things. But it's not because he doesn't feel or doesn't, care about other people. He doesn't really care about other people. He cares a little bit about Marie, who he has a bit of an affair with in the first half of the novel before he goes to jail. But it's just he sees himself separated from that. None of that matters. Particularly religion, soul. The kind of the climax of the book is actually not the man getting shot. It's the confrontation between the chaplain as he's on death row. And the chaplain just trying to convince him to not be an atheist, and the fact that he doesn't succeed at that. But he ends up bringing the main character to show some emotion, which is a pretty big deal, I guess, in some senses, because he doesn't show emotion either in the book or just at all, other than that. He does eventually come to kind of accept his fate, because we all die. And that's sort of a very existentialist viewpoint. Written in 1946, which is right at the end of the World War II, very depressing time. The Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the A-bomb, all that sort of stuff made people a lot of really depressed. The fact that we had a war where we killed so many people is kind of what brought about existentialism. One of, I'm sure, many factors. I'm not a historian at the moment, but it's definitely reflected in the book. Camus did win the Nobel Prize for Literature. Much later after he wrote this book, about 10 years later. But you can definitely see that this is a new idea. I enjoyed the book. It's a very easy read, but as somebody said in The Perks of Being a Wallflower, it's a book that's easy to read, but not easy to read well. Like I said, it's a very short read. I picked it up in a couple days and finished it off. I definitely recommend it if you are interested in existentialism. It seems kind of bleak, but then again, so is existentialism. It's an interesting idea. You don't see a lot of existentialists nowadays, or at least they're a lot more quiet about it. I haven't met too many in my life. Even the atheists I know are much more on the spectrum of secular humanists, which are an interesting group indeed. But that's all I got for today. This is Kevin Reviews Everything. Not everything. Kevin Reviews Something every day for July 24th, 2009.